let's finish the Prelude tier list. So I'm gonna be doing the rest of the Prelude 2 Preludes, and like I said before, I do not have as much experience playing with these as I did with the other ones. So some error in rankings, but yeah. Uh, okay, so let's review the tiers. And so first off, game breaking. These are cards that just like break the game when you play them. What can I say? We're gonna see one truly game breaking this time, but just the best preludes. You never want to see against them. Always solid preludes are always good. You know, very high floor, pretty high ceiling, but yeah, they always give you more or less the same, right? High synergy are preludes that you need certain things for them to be good, but when they're good, they're usually better than always solid. Sometimes even better than game breaking. And so keep that in mind, because not like ecology experts, I wouldn't say is a better prelude than some of the preludes here. But in the right hand is it's like up here. So that's why I have this tier here. Very high ceiling, basically. Mid, just those preludes that you take when you the other ones are these, and they're fine. They're not gonna lose you again. They're not gonna win you again. Mediocre, you're already sad to take a mediocre prelude. I think every prelude here reflects that. Very few scenarios, basically unplayable. And just there's like I never take this unless like the planet's line essentially, and unusable, just society support and double price and such. Before I move on to the second part, I did get some comments about established methods, and they mentioned that colony and energy is pretty good, and they're right. Colony and energy is pretty good if you use established methods, so I'm gonna move it to mediocre below the city. I still don't love it. It's like flexible but not flexible, and without colonies I really don't like it at all, so I can't move it any higher than that. But yeah, no, they raise some, like I think a colony and energy is a decent use of that, and you get 2 cash back of a 30, so colony energy and 2 cash, right? So not bad. But let's start with a bit of a boring one. All mining colony. So you got a titanium production, which is worth about 10, colony, which is worth about 14, and a card, which is worth about 3, minus a card. So you pay 3, so you get a value of 21 with that titanium production, which is synergy. So I'm gonna throw that here. Above colony trade hub, I think I'd rather get the colony than the effect early, just because I mean, sometimes there's a good colony there and you just want to secure a spot. If it's in a 2-player, then maybe colony trade hub isn't even that good also, because just there aren't that many players trading, and if there's some more players, then you want to secure a colony spot. And that titanium production is nice. The card is just -3, so that's fine. So I do like it a little more than this one. This one still gives me the colony, it gives me a very good trade and a head start, so I'm gonna keep this one above. But yeah, all mining colony just meat. It's just like average value, but gives you something that you want really early. So Planetary Alliance was a bit hard to rank for me. At some point I had it in very few scenarios. At some point I had it in mediocre. But honestly, it is high. I mean, it gives you two TR, which is decent. Okay, if you get 2 production, and these are TR, which are better, that's already an okay prelude. And then you get the 3 tags and the 2 cards with synergy. So if you get a little Venus or a little Jovian in your hand, the Earth tags are always good. And then you draw an additional Venus and an additional Jovian, and you get 3 tags, which is obviously good for both the Jovian strategy and the Venus strategy. Those are Earth, Venus, and Jovian are 3 very tag heavy cards, where like each tag matters. Like plants, you matter until you get 4, and then there's insects, and that's about it. And then there are other cards like energy tax don't matter, right? But science tax do matter, but it's at milestones, right? It's a 3 replay central, 5 mass converter, 7 anti-grav, right? But this one is like a really little tag, like the difference between 5 and 6 matter, so getting these 3 tags, I think it's really good. And not only that, but you probably got a pretty good thing going with Unity if you're playing with Turmoil. So I'm moving into high synergy. Um, because you're not getting much if you're not going for like a Unity game. The 2TR is still decent, so the floor isn't low, so I moved it to high synergy. 3 tags are really nice. Okay, preservation program. This was also very hard to rank for me. I like it with pre-star, but other than that, I think it's just very few scenarios. I'm gonna put it below head start, and just so you get 5 TR, but every generation you skip the first TR you earn, which is a hard penalty. It's pretty horrible. So yeah, I don't know. You can only play this if you're going for a very heavy engine game, and then even then you always terraform like the last 3 generations. So I mean, you get very nice production, but it's weird not terraform. And even like you want to throw asteroids at plant players, and those are worthless. So you really have to have like the pre-star strategy, which is I am not terraforming at all. Um, and then it has that bad synergy with pre-star and the reds because no, sorry, it still works with the reds because it's only in the action phase. So if you get an TR in the terminal phase, that's fine. So it's just great with pre-star. This is just the pre-star's prelude, but other than pre-star, I can't play it. I don't think I can. So it just stays in very few scenarios. I do think it's really good with pre-star, so I'm gonna put it towards the top here. Unlike a lot of these, which are like the scenario isn't even that good, but it's just pre-star or bust. Okay, Project Eden. This is just stupid. It's insane value. What the fuck? I've ranted about it many times. A city, a greenery, and an ocean, plus like picking all that shit, which might give you a second greenery, plus a plant tag and a city tag, which is rare. And you pay 9, you just keep 3 extra cards and you just throw them away. It's the best prelude in the game. The value is closer to 42. I think it's above 42. Well, let's do the math. It's 23 plus 25, that's 48, plus 18, that's 66. Minus 12 because I counted them as standard projects, minus 21. Yeah, we're at 45 value. That's the value of this prelude, more or less. 45. If you follow my math, good for you. If it's wrong, please correct it. But yeah, 45 value for a prelude. So, and I hate it. I'm gonna rant a little again because it's not like focus organization where you have to find a way to make it good, or corridors of powers where you have to like struggle every turn to make it good. It's just like you put this shit on the board and go like, shit, give me shit now, and you get it. So yeah, I don't know. I will probably take this out of the prelude deck because it's stupid. Moving on. Recession. Okay, another one hard to rank. I think I liked it at least, but I have to go mediocre now. Okay, so let's talk about it. It gains you 10 cash, which is always good. And then your opponent loses minus 5 cash and minus 1 production. And the thing is, if your opponent chooses a Rich Corp like Director, they won't care that much. I mean, this always hurts a little, but I'd rather play a prelude that lets me do things than a prelude that might hurt my opponent. And because you pick your preludes before you see your opponent's card, I decided to put it in mediocre. I think the value is fine, and it's cash value, which is always useful and always useful to take from your opponent. It just might be that they're director and they don't care, and they have, or they have, they didn't have that many cards to play early and doesn't hit them, and you did have good cards to play, and you only get 10 cash, which is not a lot from a prelude, right? because you're getting 21 value from preludes in general, but in this one, like a little over half of that is going towards hurting your opponent and not you. So, and then, yeah, but it's never bad, and that's the thing. I might move it to mid. I'm very easy to convince on this one, so leave all the comments that you want, because yeah, it's cash. It's always good to take cash from your opponent. It's always good to get cash, and especially early. You could, like, if this is to Ecoline, you stifle them, you kill them, but you don't know that they're gonna pick Ecoline. That's the thing. So I think I would. That's the thing. I think it's never very bad, but I would rarely pick it because I just rather pick something that I see synergy with in my hand. So that's what I gotta go mediocre. But maybe it's mid. Please convince me, because I'm more than willing to put it to mid. Wait, rise to power. After further consideration, this is better than any build we used to know. I'm gonna put it right above Allied Bank and think about it. You're getting 3 production, and then you're getting 3 delegates that you're gonna turn that into 1 terraforming rating. So you're getting the 4 production that Allied Bank gives you. You don't get the counter and the 3 cash, but the 3 delegates, I mean, first of all, they're getting a terraforming rating, which is a point, instead of just a production, and also they're gonna get you the power that you want in power in the 2nd generation, which could be really important. Like they could just put the right tax in power, and that'll get you the 3 cash. So I don't see how Allied Bank is better than this. Honestly, it's close. It's like rise to power is just better by an eyelash, but it is better. I guess you could make the argument that it only works with turmoil, but even without turmoil, three production is not that bad. And I mean, yeah, it's always for production. Just 3 delegates is really good, and you can put them in separate parties. So if you feel like you have the neutral delegates and you only need to put 2 in your party, because that puts you at 3, and then you have a free one that you could use if someone goes for it, but no one does that in the 1st gen. You actually get that TR, and you get an extra delegate that you're gonna use eventually later. That's gonna have value later. So it's just better value than Allied Bank, and it's another one of those very good preludes that came in this. I don't know, maybe I'm too high, but I just filled this tier up with shit. There's more coming, let's just say that. Okay, Soul Bacteria. Soul Bacteria was actually in my What's the Worst Prelude quiz. And I had it, a lot of people just asked, like, why is this here? And, I just needed a 4th prelude there. I do think it should be here, I think. Yeah, I think I like it less than Biofuels. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. The ability is useful. It's kind of like a viral enhancers, but a lot more limited. Like, animals don't give you animals, which is the main thing I like about viral enhancers. The plants are also very good in viral enhancers, don't get me wrong. But the animals just net you points, like, every time you play them. So, yeah. The 3 plants, they're okay. I mean, you're getting 4 really, because the tag on it will give you 1. And then 2 microbe cards, that could be nothing. So here's the thing, like, someone blows up your plants, you get microbe cards, which is not that weird, and you get nothing 1st gen. There's not a lot of other ways to get plants, so you probably need another plant prelude and some plants of your own to, like, because, like, supply drop gives you 3, Biofuels gives you 2, so with preludes you can't get to 8. So you need a tile or another prelude with plants or Ecoline to actually convert those plants in 1. There's no guarantee, and that's usually gonna mean a point. Sorry, a turn at least to get that done, which exposes you a little. And then the 2 microbe tags, I just don't love those draws. The microbe tags got better with the expansions, but they're still the weakest tag to draw, maybe with energy tags. So you could get nothing there. and you don't get a plant tag. So yeah, if these had a plant tag, I would put it higher, but the micro tag is not that useful. So yeah, I don't like it. It's a micro prelude. I mean, it could be nice with some corporations that it combos, but I'm just gonna go very few scenarios where you can convert those plants early, gives you an early greenery, you have a pretty green hand, you think you're gonna get enough plants out of it, then it's fine. It's not even OP in that case. So, yeah, because it doesn't really get you anything very valuable. Like this effect, that might get you an extra greenery in the game, right? Let's say you get two greeneries combined between this effect and the three plants and the four plants. So you get 12 of these stacks, which is pretty high, and that effect. You get two greeneries, and then you get two micro attacks. I'd rather get one greenery immediately, two plants experimental forest, and then a plant tag. It's just yeah, I don't know. I don't like it at all. Um, I don't see me playing it. So very few scenarios. Okay, now let's talk about Space Lanes. Space Lanes was also hard to rank for me. I'm gonna put it there. I'm thinking about it. Top of high synergy, and at one point, let me just scroll back up. I did want to put this in always solid because it's just Earth discount is always good. 3 titanium is just always good, and the additional value, like there's value here, just cash value here, that's always solid. But yeah, I don't think I would play this without a bit of a Venus or a Jovian hint in my hand, which is not super common to get. So, yeah, uh, I do think it's like if you get this, it's an amazing discount. Getting a discount -2 on 3 separate attack. I mean, this is like Earth Office and Venus Way Station and plus Jovian combined, right? And then in the expansions, you have more Venus Jovians and more Earth Jovian combinations. There's things like Sister Planet support, cost 3 now. Venus Governor is free. Everything with 2 Earth tax is -4. But I do think you need. I don't think I would keep it if I saw something a little more like if I don't see the either Jovian or Venus leaning in my hand, I would go for something slightly more with more synergy. Unless of course like my other 2 preludes are in the bottom tiers, right? Like if they're in the mediocre, I might consider it and just hope I get the tax. But why the top of high synergy? I do like. I just usually just compare it to one card I find it close, and I just like it more than Acquire Space Agency. You get half the titanium, but that discount is gonna be way more. And yeah, the 2 cards are really good from Acquire Space Agency, but that discount is worth too much. Like if you already see your hand with Venus and Jovians, you're gonna Space Links is amazing. Like it's just so much cash at the beginning of the game. Whereas Acquire Space Agency is like you need to get the synergy. You hope to get the cards that give you synergy, but on its own it might not. And this one and that security, that's why I have it above Acquire Space Agency. They're not super similar. One draws your cards, one gives you a discount, but I did like have to put it next to this one and think of which one I like better. And yeah, I do like Space Links a little better. I think this just provides too much value throughout the game if you have the right cards, right? Even if you have like a lot of Earth decks, it's worth it. I wish it had one of those decks, but that might be too much. Let's just save Planetary Alliance for that. Okay, next up. Okay, strategic base planning, and that's yeah. Guess what? That is also on this tier. I want to say that's more value than Business Empire, honestly. At like a city and a colony, -3, that's again insane value. It's not Project Eden, right? Project Eden got an extra greenery there. But a city and a colony, it's just great. And 3 tags. Not the most useful tags on the table, but for something like Diversifier, it's pretty good. If you're Aridor, getting the city tag plus 2 tags early, that's great. And Aridor, remember, Aridor brings a tile, gets the colony. Like, this is great build for Aridor. So yeah, it's just like I don't have much to say over than this is great value. This is another one I would consider taking out. I don't think the value is like I don't think the ceiling is as good as all of these. So, but the value up front is what bothers me a little. It's just like, hey, you have shit for free. The value of this one, let's calculate it. It's 13 plus 21. That's 34 minus 3, 31. So it's like 10 over, and the city, even though it's worth 21 early, is not that great. So this one's fine. It's 10 over, but you're getting a city too early, which is a little like obviously if you calculate it like that with even early settlement, you're getting about 31 value too. It's just not a good combination early. And same thing with victory points. So yeah, uh, and of course if you get a city with an ocean integrity, that's worth way more. So there you. That's why predicting them is stupid. But yeah, it's still so much value. Like you're never sad to see this in your hand. So it goes in game breaking. All right, an interesting one. One that I forgot. I didn't play this one, but I think it's kind of easy to analyze and maybe not. Suitable infrastructure. Um, what do I do with this one? I think it's just always solid, right? I'm gonna put it right at the bottom. I'm always solid. I don't think I like it better than even a my contractor. And it's basically just Manutech's effect, but severely nerfed because Manutech is awesome. So you get whenever you place at least one of your productions in an action, you get 2 cash. It doesn't matter if you raise 2 separate productions. Like if you play Industrial Microbes, which raises your steel and your energy, you still get just 2 cash. But that's good. Like that's really good. It's still a really good bonus. You raise your production a bunch of times. And the other thing is not like Minotech, where if you raise it 4, you get 4. If you raise it 10, you still get 2. It's once per action, right? So, but and it's nice that it works with things like local shading. Local shading, like giving you 1 cash production plus 2 cash in return, is pretty good, and it gives you 5 steel up front. So, steel cards early are really good with production. So things like natural preserve, it's a $2 discount natural preserve on all the mines, titanium mine, mining rights, all of those. So I just think this is always solid. You most of the games you play production cards early, and I mean think about it. If you play 6 cards that raise your production in the first 2 gens, you're about at donation level, and everything you get is extra, right? So, and 6 is pretty high, but yeah, also remember you should play this as your first prelude. Your second prelude is probably gonna raise production, because that's how you should do this. And then, I mean, you start pretty quickly. It's a shame that this prelude itself doesn't raise it. I would really love that, but yeah. And then when you have interactions with corporations, things like Tarsis, Aridor, this prelude is insane with Aridor. It's just so much cash early. I can't stop talking about Aridor, guys. Help me. But yeah, suitable infrastructure. Truly, it combos really well with some things, but but it's always solid. Like it's never gonna be bad. I don't know if I like it better than 3 production and a card and an earth tag. I don't think so. But it does have a higher ceiling. It does. It, like with things like Garidor, it has a higher ceiling. What's the other one? Lakefront. Lakefront also has a Lakefront. You're guaranteed just 18, just from the oceans. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Terraforming Deal. This one, I thought like yeah, this is like probably high synergy, but no, I think this is always solid. Sorry, game breaking. Um, I actually did some math on where I like it more than Business Empire, but think about it. Like you're getting 2 cash for every terraforming rating, not every time you terraform, for every terraforming rating. So you play demos now, you get six cash back. And just think about where your terraforming rating ends up every game. It's usually like a bad game is 40, a good game could be 70, right? So you get between 20 and 50 with the probably a 35 average. I think is fair. I think 55 is probably average where my terraforming ends. And I'm not a big on terraforming. It's just you find things to at the end you gotta end the game sometime. But yeah, I prefer like engine points type games. So yeah, if you get 35, this gives you 70. If you get the only the 20, the 40, which is really low, this gives you 40. Um, and Business Empire, so Business Empire, like, it gives you 48, right? 6 times 8, yeah. Gives you 48. So, on a 10 generation game. And that's because you produce only starting the second generation, so you produce 9 times minus the 6. It's like you produce 8 times, so Business Empire gives you 48 cash in a 10 generation game. This might not get it as fast for you. You're not gonna get 3 terraform rating in your first generation to match the 6 cash, but actually they start 6 cash down, so technically, I think it's better than Business Empire. I'm gonna put it above Business Empire. And I'm not a big terraformer, I'm a big engine guy and a big defender of Business Empire that it should be in this tier, but this is just a lot of money. And then besides that, that's just for a normal game. For UNMI, this is insane because UNMI usually gets to the like 60s easy, and it's also these guys are like you're basically you're subsidizing their ability. Their ability to pay 3, you're getting it back, and because you terraform at least one other time, they're getting 4 back. For UNMI, it's amazing. For Russian Corps, for Ecoline, just like remember like those ocean walks, and they pick up cash with with every greenery. Now they get 2 more cash with every greenery. So for like really rushy games, this is great. So it's always solid, but also game breaking in the right hands. So that's why I have to put it here. It might be better. I did play this one, and that's when I went from like, hey, this is fine to actually this is always good. I haven't played it with like a rush because I never do that, or with UNMI because that should be super fun. I think it could be higher, but we'll see. Okay, next up, Venus contract. Okay, this is after reviewing Terraforming Deal, this feels very underwhelming. It is just very few scenarios. I'll put it below Research Outpost. Um, yeah, I mean, even if you see a lot of Venus, like you never want to raise Venus that high. You're never gonna be Aphrodite. It's nice that you get a terraforming rating and a Venus card, and it's it does give you value. It gives you like the Venus tag too. So, but 3 cash every time you usually go to 18. That's usually like the top, and that's 9 steps. So 9 times 3 is 27. That's okay, but then it's only if you're doing Venus. Like it's not 27, but yeah, and many times, like when I'm MSI, I often do like Venus Terraforming the first generation, and then I'm done. Like I play Starfleet Birds Gen 1, and then I'm done. Um, so, yeah, it, not that good. Um, s- yeah, and because it's Venus, and Venus gets played much less even when it's there, I just gotta put it here. I still like it better than Lone and Industrial Complex, but that's, yeah, I can't go any higher. Okay, Venus sell one shit. Now see, these I like a lot more because it's 3 production, right? I like 3 production more than the Venus bonus. I think I'm gonna go high synergy, but I don't like it better than Battle Enhance. That I'm a freak enhancers. Do I like it better than? I don't like it better than the plant ones either. These ones give me 2 production and a resource that it's often more useful in plants or steel or whatever, and better attacks, both of them. But if you have, MSI in hand, these get you to 10. And then, you just need 1 step to play, like, everything you need to play with MSI, and you're getting through production. So it's high synergy. It's never too bad. Like 3 terraforming steps are never bad, but these are the worst 3 terraforming steps to get for sure. Like 3 temperature, 2 oceans, that's better. Obviously 2 oxygen because certain greeneries is worse. But yeah, it is never bad. So it's a low floor, high synergy, but it's just so rare to get that high synergy that I gotta keep it down here. And the last one today, I had issue with this one, the World Government Advisor. So what it does, you get 2 TR, you get a card, and then once per turn you can raise a parameter but not get any of the bonuses. So you don't get track bonuses, you don't get players bonuses from the oceans, and you don't get your TR. So this really helps a rusher, is all I gather from it. But not as much, because you're like the rusher relies on getting the rushing points to win the game. And this is one that I really think I could move lower if I was a good rusher and realize it's not good. I mean, obviously you want to use these 10 times, right? And think about a game you rush. Can you afford to lose 10 points? And it's just not 10 points. You also rely on the stuff you pick up from those 10 points and on hitting the milestones on the track, so it could be more than 10 points. Well, if you're rushing, you probably want to finish in 8 generations. So yeah, let's say 8 points. Can you afford? Probably not. But then again, it gives you 2 TR, which is 2 production, and a card, which a card I really like. Yeah, it could help, I guess. I wish it gave me some cash instead of a card, like 3 cash instead of a card. I would rather see that. But yeah, I put it in high scenario because it might help a rusher, and it also might help you in MI. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really like. I really don't like not getting the terraforming rating. Actually, it doesn't help you in MI. Fuck. I really don't like terraforming without getting terraforming rating. It's just. I mean, it's obviously not costing you anything, but it's costing you a prelude, and it's safe by the fact that it has 2 TR up front, which is 2 production, which like I said with Planetary Alliance, that already makes it decent, right? 2 production I think makes you okay at least, because cash is just so useful. But yeah, again, change my mind on that one and change my mind on Recession. Recession probably to move up, War Government to move down. I don't think I can go the other way with those. Let me know what you think about the new S tier, which went from 3 cards to 8 with Prelude 2. There's just some insane value preludes, including a new top 4 and a distant top 1. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Like I said, let me know what you think, and see you next time.